This is Tobi and Dean from Archspire, and you're watching.
You're watching.
What are we watching?
RichardMetalFan.
So what's up, guys? Just wrapped up an interview with Inferi and Volvadinia, and now I'm here at the headliners, Vancouver, Canada's own Archspire. We got Ollie and Tobi. Hey, how are you guys doing?
Oh, terrible, man. Yeah, it's been a horrible day for us.
Yeah. So, so I know you're currently on this tour with Entheos, Volvadinia, and Inferi. How's the tour been going? Most typical interview question ever.
Oh, that's fine. We've been kind of fighting back and forth, me and Tobi. Just basically, we were sharing a bunk, so in our van, so things get a bit heated up there sometimes. Just basic premarital problems. But aside from that, it's been going great.
Yeah, I gotta get the sunglasses.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Nice. It's very bright out here.
Yeah.
Is my mic on? I should be.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I do this for a living, and I'm like talking down here. That's great. Can you hold this?
Yeah.
Just like ice cream. I want to get away because I don't want to lose weight.
Watching these interviews, it's online. It's funny, but in person, it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, we got a commando.
Right.
Yeah, it's okay. So to answer your question seriously,
We just got distracted. Sorry.
Yeah, we got really distracted. It's very distracting. It's been really, really cool so far. I think the bands have been okay. You know, nothing special. I mean, none of the bands are really that good. We're not that great. I don't know what. Like fucking, there's been like 3 people at a show. Most of them, just people working the venue. So
like
bartender,
house guy.
Maybe. Sometimes I'll bartend, but I just end up blacking out. So Tobi has to take over.
House
guy. Yeah.
And then,
House guy. House dressing. There's always house dressing.
house dressing.
We just brought a bunch of house dressing. It's been really good so far. A lot better than we expected.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So basically, this format is I want to do a quick rundown of your catalog as well as you guys' musical journey from where you started to now. But before we go into that, I just want to dive back into the very beginning. What were the bands that got you two into metal, and for you, Tobi, to play guitar, and for you, Ollie, to be a vocalist? So who wants to go first?
You go first.
First band, or you can hold it for me.
hold it
You hold for me. First bands that I got into from metal.
Yeah.
Wrong answer.
And made you want to play guitar.
I'd say Metallica when I was like.
Yeah, wearing Injustice for All right
There
now.
you go. When I was like 6 or 8 years old.
Who's that?
It's just some band you don't know.
Never heard of them.
Yeah. They're like kind of small.
Okay.
Yeah,
Their dicks are small?
Oh yeah, microscopic. You cannot.
So
That's
you're
actually
Tobi
why-
Morelli thinks Metallica has small dicks. That's what he said. I would never say that.
Fuck.
I.
Yeah, so that's like a band, Metallica and like Slayer, Anthrax, all the Megadeth, all that shit. And then later when I started to get older, got into more extreme stuff. So like Cannibal Corpse, Dissection.
Yeah, you and every other guitar player.
Yeah, bands like Spawn of Possession, shit like that. So yeah, just went on the. Yeah.
I just like to point out, because you can't smell through the camera, it fucking reeks like Mexico City street. There's like the sewage line. This is.
Sewage, or is that your pants?
I mean, hard to tell. It's 2 weeks into the road, but no, there's the sewage treatment right here that you can hear. I don't know if they can hear that.
It looks like a.
Yeah, I don't know if they can.
It looks like a waterfall.
It is a waterfall of shit water.
Shit.
So we're smelling that while we're talking about. Speaking of shit, so Metallica.
Yeah, Metallica and their small penis.
Yeah.
Yeah, the small penis Metallica.
Yeah, I fucking loved that band when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because the small penises and they smell like shit.
You could relate to that.
Yeah. And then yeah, just down the rabbit hole of finding extreme death metal. Like then bands like Origin, Decapitated, and all the Dying Fetus and all that stuff just started, coming up, and just being obsessed with the genre and just kind of.
What was your first cassette tape, though?
Anthrax.
The very first one?
Yep.
You didn't have a fucking Chipmunks cassette when you were a kid?
No, actually,
Fucking liar.
The first cassette I ever had was the Black
Christmas
album.
one.
It was a Black Album.
Oh shit! You had Christmas cassettes, dude, when you were a little kid, like
No,
Jingle Bells, like.
Okay, I lied. Okay, the very first cassette I ever had that I owned when I was probably like 4 was the California Raisins.
Fuck yeah, me too.
So there.
Hell
Awesome.
yeah, pound it.
California Raisins.
California Raisins.
Okay, and for
Yeah,
you being
CR.
and for you,
When I was 4, we had this little Fisher Price boombox, and we had the New Kids on the Block tape, and we would carry it and just listen to Hangin' Tough, and me and my brothers would walk around town. Dude, why don't you finger me? Wait till we get to the bathroom.
South African hospital.
Yeah, South Africans like the finger you.
gotta love Volvadinia.
Yep. Yeah, no, I'm not joking. We had just the New Kids on the Block tape, but there was Hangin' Tough that would play, and we'd listen to that and be all cool. And then there was like a really sappy song that came on after, and we'd throw the Fisher Price and be like, fuck that song. So we just like Hangin' Tough because that was the most badass. And then from there, it just got fucking more and more brutal, you know?
Awesome.
Dolly Parton for sure, Robert Johnson, and then all the way up to Coulter Wall, and that's where I am today.
Awesome. So, what were you guys' bands before starting up Archspire?
Ooh, yuck. Can we skip this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were bands that existed, and
Yeah,
They're-
Tobi's band was fun. He had long hair.
I had long hair at the time.
It was like him with a wig on.
Yeah, I was in like a few bands. I was in like a black metal band. I was in a band that was kind of like death metal, black metal mixed with a bit of grind.
Ooh.
I was in like a melodic death metal band for a while. Yeah, and they were all rad and learned a lot of different stuff from each of them and all the musicians I played with. And a lot of them were from close friends and musicians from the local metal scene from where we're from.
Awesome.
Yeah, good shit.
Awesome. So, how did Archspire form? Because y'all formed in 2009.
Yeah. So Spencer, closer. Spencer.
It's not ice cream.
It looks like it.
I know. I keep thinking
We don't eat much on the road, so
licorice ice cream.
yeah. Please come to a show so we can afford to buy food. Because
Please. It
I'll
smells
buy
like
all
shit.
buy all the merch.
yeah, we're dying out here.
How did we start? Oh yeah, that's right. We found Tobi. No, who was it? No.
Spencer started the band with our original bass player, and Spencer had been looking for additional members. Took him a couple years, and then they found Dean on this like Craigslist ad in the like personals section. They were
Like before Grinder.
yeah, before Grinder, and they kind of randomly found it online, and they weren't too sure. I'm like, well, I guess he says he's a guitar player, but then he also does other stuff on the side, like sexually. So like, well, maybe he can just
Sexually.
come out anyways and try him out. And so he obviously did a fabulous job. So he stuck with the band.
He showed his commitment to the team.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
And then I joined like maybe 6 months later, and I already knew Spencer just from mutual friends, and we liked the same death metal bands and stuff like that. And then after that, Ollie joined like I think like a month later after me, a month or two,
Yeah,
something like that.
I think something like that.
Yeah,
Around my birthday.
yeah.
I think that was the one birthday I had in that 4-year span because I was born on a leap year.
Yeah, leap 4 years. And you're
Yeah.
the guy that you're just like hanging around the building.
I was kind of bumming around, and they just decided to hook me up with a gig. So, yeah, that's how it happened.
Awesome. And then going into like that first EP, I'll Show a Line in 2010. What was that whole recording process like?
Ooh, bad.
Yeah, it was pretty new for us. Like we didn't all have too much recording experience, and so it was interesting. Like just starting the beginning of our craft and just like
Didn't do any pre-production,
Yeah.
which we do now.
Yeah.
And I smoked a lot of cigarettes and drank a bunch of whiskey before doing my takes, which was a bad idea.
Oh,
You thought that
wow.
would help for some
I was
reason.
like, well, that's what I do at Jam, so that's what I'll do at recording. And then I had to stop doing that at recording and stop doing that at Jam.
Yeah. And the engineer Stu McKellop that did the album, he was really stoked, and he's a great engineer.
Yeah, he's rad.
He's really awesome to work with, and he kind of came from like a hardcore and punk kind of background, but he really wanted to try something different and challenge himself, and so and we needed someone to record, and we kind of knew him. I think it was through the jam space we were at.
Yeah.
I think his band jammed there, and he popped his head in one day.
Yeah, he heard us from outside and
Yeah.
offered to record a song for free, so and we ended up tracking with him.
Yeah, and so that worked out, and he ended up doing Lucid Collective as well.
Did he? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't remember that album.
Yeah. And then going to the actual full length in 2011, you I believe your first label was called Trendkill Records. How'd they find you guys?
I think just online, I think we put our stuff up on like MySpace still existed back then, so I think it was probably through MySpace and like Lambgo, shit like that, and yeah, so we were on that label for a bit, and it kind of was whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then how did Season of Mist find you guys to sign for the next album?
That
Gordon found us.
Conrad.
Gordon Conrad found us through I think a compilation album or something that he
Yeah.
heard us on, and then I think we were the first band that he wanted to sign when he joined Season of Mist, the American branch. So he pulled some strings and got us on there, which is really cool. And now he's our dad.
Yeah. Yeah. He's Papa.
Yeah, and then going into 2014 with the Elusive Collective, with the first album, like you have like your entire life to write it, but when it came to working on the Elusive Collective, did you felt like pressure to follow up All Shall Align?
Yeah, slightly. I mean, I guess the thing is too with All Shall Align, it was like there was like a mix of different riffs from like the other guys too, and like it's not that we spent too long on that album before. I guess like I know Spencer and our previous bass player had some of it done already, and then when Dean and I joined and Ollie, like we refined a lot and then wrote some extra songs to it. So Lucid was more like that was actually like a collective of like the full official lineup all actually getting into like how our writing mode is similar to what we do today.
Yeah, it was the one after that where we were stressed out.
Yeah.
Because we didn't think we could do better than.
Yeah, so Lucid was more like we had a lot that we had time, and we had done a European tour and a couple Canadian tours, and so we had kind of like just time to write. And so after Lucid, that's when it was like, okay, now we have to really up our game. And is that you?
No, it's not me. It's but my right armpit always smells bad, and my left one, just nothing.
Are you sure?
It's weird.
Oh
Check it
wow!
I know.
This is gonna
not
be
bad.
crazy, guys.
Yeah, I guess it's not bad.
Yeah.
And then going to the next album, Relentless Mutation. That was actually the album that I discovered you guys on. What was that like going from Elusive Collective to Relentless Mutation?
It was stressful.
Yeah, it was a big game changer for us.
Yeah, because we wanted to do better.
Yeah.
And I think that every time you write something, then you're like, uh-oh, how do I write that better next time? And so when you have to, then you start getting a bit of anxiety about it.
Yeah.
Because they're like, what if it's not as cool? But I think that helps you write and focus more and try to do better if you're conscious of, like, it has to be better in some way. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, in that regard, it was kind of cool to write and challenging and stressful because we kind of put stuff off
For a bit.
For a bit.
Yeah.
Build up the anxiety a bit.
And that's when too, like we ended up working with Dave Otero for the first time, and that's something we wanted.
Great producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude's amazing.
We just wanted a more handsome version of Tobi. We saw him online and we were like, fuck yeah, that's the guy for us.
Yeah, he works out, like, so he's in shape and he's taller. So.
He's taller. Not as Italian,
He's not as Italian, but he's
Which sucks.
He's still handsome.
so he doesn't have that hairy ass.
But yeah, we wanted a producer to yeah.
It's not as hairy.
As him. We wanted like a guy that's like knew more of the genre and was more like a metal producer, and to help us get to, you know, hopefully another tier and, you know, help us grow as a band, and someone who's going to be hands-on and like be kind of a sixth member and just like, if something's not working, tell us, you know, if it sounds like shit, we need to know, like if something should be changed, you know, we want someone to make the album as best as possible, and he ended up being like the perfect guy for the job.
Yeah, and this was also the first album with your current bass player, Jared. How did he end up joining?
Oh, well, funny story. We were in San Francisco, and we found this dude that could suck your dick through your jeans. He had this crazy technique. Yeah, and
my
we were all
God.
blown away. So we were like, fuck, I guess he can play bass too. So, so he joined the band.
Yeah, he's a crazy bassist. Like, I've seen that bass playthrough he did of Remote Tumor Seeker. Oh my God.
Yeah, crazy dick sucker and bass player. It's
He's
crazy.
actually, and he's a really, really crazy guitar player too.
He is.
actually
He doesn't
went
get to shine in guitar.
Yeah, he actually he got like a degree in jazz guitar and performing,
And he ended up lighting that on fire for warmth because he was so broke. So then he joined our band.
yeah.
Oh, wow, my
Yeah.
God.
So
He wrote most of the solos on the album, right? The ones that you took credit for?
He wrote Dean's.
He wrote Dean's. That's right. I thought he wrote yours.
And
He
he
has written a lot of the solos on the album. Yeah, Jared Smith wrote a bunch of solos on the album, on the new album. That's Chicken Blood.
Oh, I guess it is Chicken Blood. But
Oh,
for
wow.
who?
He wrote the lyrics too.
He wrote most of the lyrics.
A lot of them.
Oh,
I
wow.
said that actually in a review somewhere. Which is the
Awesome.
truth, which is funny.
Awesome. And then your latest album, Bleed the Future, it's been out since last October. What was that whole writing and recording process of that?
I mean, okay, well,
Music jail, dude.
yeah, I mean, there was Stressful from Relentless, and then this one was like
Way more stressful.
way more.
Because you just waved, you just tinked your glass in the restaurant, and now everyone's looked up, like, all right, what do you got to say now? And then you're like, fuck, I better have something cool to say.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it was like. Like, we got people's attention with Relentless, and then we're like, all right, what else can you do? And so we had to do something cooler. So and we failed miserably. So
Yeah,
Also-
it didn't go well.
no.
Oh shit. So would you just consider this just picking up after Relentless Mutation, or is this almost kind of like a new beginning for Archspire in a way?
I'd say it's a new beginning.
New beginnings.
Well, I mean, like-
new leaf.
Yeah, new leaf.
New leaf.
A new leaf. I mean, yeah, we wanted to
Matured.
yeah, we matured.
There you
Now
go.
we're on tour. We wanted
wow.
to have an album that was, if not the same, but better than Relentless, and we wanted it from every angle. Like the songwriting, we wanted to have it more clever. We wanted to have catchier parts. We wanted to have more heavy and brutal parts, techier parts, bigger production. So, and I guess we had
shit. Sorry,
Drop and change.
there's Malcolm. You just got out of jail for cannibalism.
Yeah. He hard as fuck.
I believe he ate a whole live dog too. He threw that in there. There he goes. Yeah. All right. Anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah, we just wanted to have like a better album altogether, like every way possible, and we had obviously a lot more time to prep for it because of the world.
Yeah,
and
a certain virus that I refuse to name.
and yeah, and we did a lot more pre-pro. We ended up doing a thing where we were jamming. You're dropping
Dude,
change
dropping
everywhere.
change everywhere.
That's bad luck.
Oh, is it?
We were like writing like 5 days a week, which was a bad idea because we were getting burnt out on shit, and it just, yeah, and so we had to like cut that down to like 3 days a week. But yeah, in the end, it worked out. By the time we got to the studio, we were like way more prepared, and yeah, Dave was more prepared. Dave, obviously, again, because he is like a family guy.
He's a family man.
To us, you know.
Yeah. So there was basically just just a preconceived idea. There wasn't like any trial or error or improvisation.
Like in the studio, or
What, you got a cough or something?
yeah.
Jesus.
Thing.
Oh, maybe that's it. Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a cool experience. It felt like we were in jail.
Yeah. Music
It
prison.
was 6 weeks. I traded Toby for a pack of smokes a few times.
Oh
We played a lot of
I don't
backgammon.
smoke. Yeah. Yeah, we shot more web in that bathroom than all the Spider-Man movies put together.
They could,
Probably.
yeah, we completed the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dave, he had to bring his toilet to go get fixed at Planned Parenthood when we were done recording. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, and kind of like going into your live show, is there like a similar energy to playing live as opposed to recording on the albums, or they're almost kind of like two separate entities?
I think they're opposite for me. I think it's a balance of like, in the studio, it's just pure tone, and so you want to be more relaxed, and you want just the tone to come through, like for vocals. But live, it's a balance of wanting to have energy so the crowd gets more energetic, but not sacrificing your tone. So it is a totally different approach for live than it is for recording. But for guitar players, it's just the same shit. Like they might as well be
We just don't have to
in
stop
their
it.
parents' basement playing while they're listening to their parents bang,
Pretty
or
much.
just being on stage. It's kind of the same.
It's kind of the same because instead of our parents banging, it's just like more people.
Heads banging,
Heads
you know?
banging, yeah.
So you go from parents banging when you're starting guitar to heads banging when you're good at guitar.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I got two more questions for you guys. So I'd love to ask this going back to songwriting, because especially with your style, with like technical, very progressive. But for you guys, how do you know when a song is done?
Oh.
We asked Dave.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll look at it, Dave. Yeah.
At this point, yeah, we asked
Yeah.
Dave. We can kind of tell, but we did leave a few open ends when we did pre-production, and there was some parts we had like 95% of everything done, but there was like that 5% where we're like, hey, we're stuck on this. We're gonna just bring it to the studio like that, and once we're there and we have to make a decision, it'll just be forced to happen, and sometimes the coolest shit comes out of that, you know?
Yeah.
Pressure.
Some happy accidents for sure on this.
Yeah.
album.
Awesome. So the final question I want to ask you is, coming from Canada, which I consider almost kind of like to be like the Western Sweden in a way, with so many great bands like you guys, Unleash the Archers, Beyond Creation, Despised Icon, so many great bands from Canada. So is there like a scene that you felt a part of, or was it for the goal for Archspire to get outside of Canada and play in front of different audiences in different countries and stuff?
Yeah, our
Definitely
Vancouver scene didn't like us at all.
Yeah.
They still don't really.
Yeah. We weren't.
We're not part of a scene there at all.
Yeah.
None of the local bands wanted to play with us.
Yeah, we weren't, like-
And now they do, just because I guess people come to our shows.
Yeah. It was the goal. The goal was to be like, okay, we all want to be in a touring death metal band.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do. We don't really know what that all entails,
Yeah.
But that's what we think we do, and that's what we want to do.
So we
it
didn't
was
really want to
like-
build something in the city where, okay, we're
Yeah.
playing the same bars every month, and we're in a community of tech death. Like we were
Yeah.
just like,
It
we
was
want to
our
do our
goal.
own thing and get the fuck out,
Yeah, it
and
was
then
our
come
goal
back
back
and play
then.
shows every once in a while.
Yeah,
Us.
to not let, we didn't want to fucking. I don't
We
know.
don't want to get boxed in.
Yeah, we didn't want to box in.
Oh man, this is. I'm sweating a
Yeah,
lot.
there's
I'm
flies
sorry,
now
man.
around
Well,
here.
that's.
dude. Fuck
Yeah, dude.
Fuck off, fly.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a goal to
Library.
like we wanted to get out of where we live and take our music and just like play it everywhere as much as we could, however we could,
Yeah.
so we could get it into
Just basically suck and fuck our way to the top, you know?
yeah, and we're still trying to do that. So
Yeah. Fucking party on.
Wow. So before we go, guys, I want to
Yeah,
thank you
dude.
guys for
Thank
this
you so
interview.
much, man.
Is there just anything else with Archspire that we'd like to promote in terms of tours and stuff?
Big things.
well, we got a European tour coming up in November this year.
Yeah.
With,
Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, it's the Faces of Death tour. So that should be pretty sick.
Bunch of other top secret shit.
Yeah, a lot of top secret stuff going on in the lab that we can't talk about.
Yeah.
But,
That carbonated mayonnaise product that we're.
you're not supposed to talk about-
That's already copyright. You can't make carbonated mayonnaise. Other than that, just stay tuned for all the cool shit that Toby's gonna put out online soon.
Oh my
Wow.
my content.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So, yeah, awesome. So everybody, Toby and Ollie from Archspire, we'll see you next time.